What's going on, everyone? This is Erik with Full Man MMA, and today I am joined by the best strength and conditioning coach in MMA, Phil Daru. Phil, how are you?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm doing well. Sunday is one of my days off, or at least the only day off. So I'm trying to enjoy it as much as possible. And thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, of course. It's a pleasure to have you on again. It's been a while since we spoke. We talked right after Dustin Poirier's win over Conor McGregor in their second fight. Of course, he's got a huge fight on December 11th coming up. You've been doing some work with him again. Just as somebody that you've known and worked with for so long, how satisfying is it for you to see him reach this point in his career where he's fighting for a belt again?
It's very satisfying. It's been we were going on our 12th camp together. I've been working with him for 5 years, but I've known him for a little over 7 years. So being a fighter myself and somewhat of a teammate, seeing him make leaps and bounds from when he started in his career. You look back at the WEC now, he's finally got a chance to get that title to solidify his legacy, which is something that is going to be great.
Yeah, of course. And we're going to get into some of the work that you've been doing with him in just a minute. But I was just curious, since we haven't talked since the second fight, I was wondering what your reaction was to his last fight, of course, with McGregor's leg break, where Dustin looked great in the first round, but then, kind of had an anticlimactic ending. I was wondering if you saw it live and what your thoughts were on it.
Yeah, I was there. I was right there in the front. So I was able to see, actually, at this point, watching the fight, thinking about it, I didn't have any worry. It was looking like he was handling, what he needed to handle as far as, controlling everything, controlling the ground, controlling the stand up. I wasn't worried at all. When he did break his leg, I thought he dropped him, and because from where my angle was, I couldn't really see it. But then he turned to us and he said, he broke his ankle or he broke his leg. And it's unfortunate to that degree, but at the same time, I believe that no matter what, we were going to win that fight anyways. So it is what it is. But yeah, it could have been better, of course, but it is what it is.
Yeah, of course. I know Conor's talking about a fourth fight with Dustin. Not really sure if that's what Dustin needs right now. Conor's kind of got to fight his way up. Do you think that that's something that needs to happen anytime soon?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it'd be great because it's another big payday for him. But at the end of the day, I think he's moved on, and there's other things, and especially with this title fight, he's got a big task at hand. So, next week we'll see. But I believe that he'll come out on top, and then we'll see after that what he wants to do.
Yeah, of course. And talking about that title fight, I'm always curious how, from a strength and conditioning standpoint, you're preparing Dustin for the unique style matchup against somebody like Charles Oliveira. Like, what do you do differently against somebody like that?
There's nothing really that I do differently. A lot of the times we'll look at the game plan, what he wants to do, how he wants to take advantage of his strengths, and we put that into play. But from my understanding, it's the goal for us, like anything, is to always make sure that we are going to be the aggressor. We're going to be somebody there that's going to set the pace. And he's going to allow himself to work his own game and not get caught up into his opponent's game. So, from a physical preparation standpoint, my goal is to always make sure he's strong, he's powerful, and he has that strength throughout the entire, 5 rounds. And honestly, we haven't had a fight camp that didn't go 5 rounds. So he's conditioned to do that. And he's obviously has the mental capacity to withstand all the pressure. But on top of that, I think, Mike Brown, Daya, they all do a great job by putting together a game plan. And I just execute what I need to help him physically, to help all the other demands inside of the cage. And so for me, the goal was, again, like I said, to increase his strength, to increase his power output throughout that long duration of time that he may be fighting. And also just make sure that he's healthy. That was a major key. And again, he has to cut that weight. And that's one thing that's always been an issue, but he's always stepped on the scale, ready to go. He's a big guy. I think he's, over the years, he's fought at 145. Now he's back at 150, or he's at 155. And even now it's kind of it's a hard go, but he always makes the weight. He's a true professional. But for me, like I said, is to minimize the fatigue and make sure that he's able to train all those demands, especially for his skills training. So I help aid in that. And whatever he needs from a physical preparation standpoint, whether it be strength, power, conditioning, all of that, will go into play based upon the skills training.
Of course. And, Dustin as an athlete better than most. If you just had to guess what this fight is going to look like based on how you know him as a fighter, as an athlete, what would you guess this fight would look like?
I would say that, at the end of the day, honestly, I would like him to push the pace, push him up against the cage and be a little bit more aggressive on the inside, kind of work the inside game and make it a little bit more dirtier. And then, when it comes down to sitting in the pocket and throwing punches and hitting body shots, I think that, obviously Dustin has that advantage. Now, not to say that Oliveira doesn't have great striking. He is solid. But again, we all know where his true strengths lie, and that's going to be on the ground. So the goal really, I think, to make it a little bit more aggressive, like as far as getting close to him and making sure that he's, putting his strength on him. And that's primarily what I would see, because of the fact that I know that he will be stronger inside the clinch, being able to control that inside game and then work it, take him down, but get back up, take him down, and then just keep on raining shots, opening up some advantages there when it comes to the striking, but also being able to take him down and then be able to control it, but not get in the way or not get into any type of grappling exchanges. We don't want that either.
Of course. It's going to be an excellent fight. Really looking forward to that. But changing gears a little bit, I saw you post a lot on Twitter and Instagram about UFC newcomer Ian Garry. Were you doing some work with him as well?
Yeah, so Ian is actually a part of Sanford MMA, and so we work with him. Sanford's down the street from us, so he contacted me on Instagram, and so we got him over to the gym, and now he's working with one of my guys. Really good kid. Definitely has what it takes, in my opinion, especially from like a mindset perspective. He has a lot of people backing him, so and very skillful. So I'm excited for him and his future. He's definitely going to be a star for sure.
He's a really exciting prospect, getting a lot of hype right now. What do you think his ceiling is in the sport? Like, is this somebody that we could say is like a champion one day? He's still very, very young.
It's tough to say, man. I've seen many guys come and go that you thought that maybe they have what it takes, and then it doesn't pan out that way. And then some guys just come out of nowhere and they become stars and become world champions. But, for the most part, it looks like he may have that opportunity, as long as he stays the course and takes his time and make sure that he, climbs the ladder a little bit more. But when it comes down to work ethic, when it comes down to skill level, and he's young too as well. So there's a lot of upside with him. So we'll see what happens.
That's awesome. And you've been sharing a lot of videos of you hitting the bag on Instagram. What are the chances we could see you back in the ring anytime soon?
Not anytime soon, man. I'm trying to stay in shape. I'm 33 now. I just turned 33. So there's probably not going to be that. Unless you come up with some a big check that I can't turn down, maybe I'll do it, but not anytime soon. I'm too busy training guys to actually win titles.
That's fair. And I know the last time we talked, I think it was in February of this year. You kind of talked about the advantage of being able to focus on your own gym and not being tied to an MMA team anymore. Is that you get to work with athletes from all sports. You have a lot more time to dedicate to training athletes everywhere. So is there anyone in particular that's been exciting that you've been working with outside of the MMA world?
Yeah, I have two guys, and actually three now, celebrities that I train. Timbaland is actually one of them, the record producer, and Kevin James, he's on and off. So he lives in New York and he comes down. So those are exciting just because it's a different feel. It's a different flow of work. These guys don't take it too serious, but they train hard and they love what they do. Obviously, they love to train, but they know that they're not going in there for a world title. So the pressure isn't that hard. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I truly enjoy training those guys because they're elite. They're successful in what they do, and watching them do what they do is definitely intriguing, and it's awesome to see. And to be a small part to help them with their work. To increase their work capacity, to increase their ability to have mental clarity due to the training that we do. When they find out now that this is what they need to keep their health in order, and so they're a little bit older, they're in their 50s, so that does play a big role, and a couple of bigger name guys that I can't really talk about on here, but it's nice to see that everybody is trying to get better physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So I try to help out in many ways as possible.
Yeah, I've actually heard talking to some of the Serra Longo guys, Kevin James is quite an athlete. Can you confirm that?
He is a true athlete, man. It's funny. He may not look it, and he may, I went to his comedy show Friday night, It was at the Hard Rock, and he has bits that he talks about how he's unathletic and he's always hurting, but this guy can really move, man. I've seen him hit pads. He's sparred with Michael Chandler. He's sparred with a couple of guys over at Sanford. So I mean, he can move. And I sparred him too, actually. Matter of fact. So it's he's definitely got it, man. He's still got it. He's 55 or 56 years old, and he can still move with the best of them. So it's cool to see.
That's awesome. And of course, you've been doing a lot of your own content production for the past number of years. Your YouTube channel is closing in on 250,000 subscribers. Your podcast is continuing to grow. What kinds of content do you upload to the YouTube channel in particular that you think have been making it so successful over the years?
A lot of it's going to be combat sport orientated. So anything that has to do with MMA, boxing, jiu-jitsu, anything there when it comes to physical preparation, strength and conditioning, but also even some technical work, right? Some skills training too as well. So we'll bring on guys like Derek Santos, who's my boxing coach. We'll bring on some MMA guys too as well to showcase some skill and technique stuff. And even myself, I'll throw some things in there. And then we'll work on, or I'll showcase whatever you need. Like, let's say, for instance, something like how to get more power and speed on your punches, how to get stronger takedowns, things like that. Those are really more of what the channel is about. In time, we'll probably transition into other things. But for now, we know that that's primarily what people want to see. So that's what we'll keep doing with.
For sure. Well, you've been killing it on YouTube, so we'll make sure to link that down in the description below. But Phil, those are all the questions that I had for the day. So before I let you go here, any other shout outs, any personal ventures, teammates, sponsors, anything you want to shed some light on? I'll give you the floor.
Just check out my website, darustrong.com. We have I just opened up a new online gym. So if you can't get out to Boca Raton to my physical location, you can go ahead and sign up for my online gym. You have all the programs there. And then just hit me up on Instagram if you have any questions.
Perfect. We'll make sure to link that in the description as well. Phil, thank you so much for joining us today. It was great talking to you again.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video. If you like our content, be sure to subscribe to Full 9 MMA. And while you're at it, make sure to hit the bell icon as well so you never miss an update from us.